Hello, my name is Mike Major,
I'm Kayla Crowley.
and we are the band directors here at McDonald Middle School. We wanted to walk you through our parent meeting for beginners. So if you had any issues listening to it, you could do this. All right. First of all, we are super excited about everybody being here. It's going to be a fantastic year. Your kids are already doing great. They're going to grow. You're going to be amazed at some of the things that they do. Every year, it is really amazes us both how far they come in a year. Okay. So, Miss Crowley teaches the woodwind classes. If they play flute, oboe, bassoon, clarinet, or saxophone, Miss Crowley is going to be their everyday teacher. I teach the brass classes, that is trumpet, French horn, trombone, baritone, and tuba. And Miss Hall is our percussion teacher. She couldn't be here right now. She teaches the last period of the day percussion class. So those are your teachers. But the very first thing we're going to talk about is behavior. Right? In our program, discipline is going to come before instruction. Let me explain what that means. We view our job as making young adults. We are going to ask them to do the right thing, and the term we're going to use all the time is young adults. They must be well behaved in band and in all their classes. If they happen to learn some music on the way, that's great. But for us, our class is about getting them from elementary school to high school. And again, along the way, they're going to learn some music to go with it. But that is really most of our goal. We're here to support you. We want to help you. We know how hard it is to raise kids. I have two college age children, and it's still crazy. So we totally get it. If you ever need any help, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will do everything we can to help you. All right. Oh, this is me. Okay, so uh, we are very big communicators. We send out lots of messages. We would much rather you have too much information than not enough information. The best way to communicate with us is remind text, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. If you call us, we're going to get back to you. But we teach from about 8:30 in the morning till about 4:30 every day. The only day we don't teach till 4:30 is Fridays, because by the time we've taught all those hours by Friday afternoon, we're just exhausted and ready to go home and collapse. If you call us, we will get back to you. The best thing to do to get a hold of us is email or through our Remind. We check our email at least twice a day. Remind sometimes comes up on my iPad, depending on how much it is. It comes up on both of our phones. So if we're, like last night, I was sitting at home and I had a parent text me at 9:40. Um, but I had somebody text me this morning at 6:30. Turn that down. So sorry about the announcement. It happens. So please don't hesitate to contact us. If you need anything, you have any questions, just call us, email us, text us. We'll get back to you. Okay. These are information. You can scan this QR code. I teach the trumpet class, horn, trombone, euphonium, tuba.
I teach flute, oboe, bassoon, clarinet, and saxophone. That's my Remind information right there, along with my email and my work phone at my desk.
And then Miss Hall works. I'm going to move this. Hold on. Oh, hey, there we go. Miss Hall, you're not going to be able to scan hers, but whoops, sorry. At the end of the presentation, we'll put Miss Hall's up where you can see it. Um, Everything's being weird. Hold on. There we go. So Miss Hall teaches percussion. Her phone number you can't see, but it is 972-882-7935. Her email is right here. It is rhall5 at mesquiteISD.org. At the end of the show, we'll show you an easier thing that you can scan. Okay. So Remind information. This is Miss Crowley's.
Yeah, so if you need to get on the Remind is really, really, really important. That's how we communicate, like Mr. Major was saying. So that's my Remind code. You can either text the number 81010 with the message at MMS Wood, or we're going to show you a QR code in a minute that you can scan as well.
Brass, this is my classes. The trumpets, horn, trombone, euphonium, tubas. You do a new text message, to 81010, and the message is at MMS Brass. Now, for any of these, you hit send, it's going to ask you your name. If it's a student and it's under 13, they're going to ask you for parent permission. That is a form you print off and sign and then send them a picture of it. Our percussion, this is for our percussion students. Theirs is 81010, and it is at MMSBEGPERC. And I want you to know that this remind, our principal is on it. This is based through the school district, so everything is above board. Adult teachers should never text your kids. So we use this, and it's saved forever. It's not going to go away. So anything that gets through there is going to be available to anybody at any time. If you would like to go to our band website, and we will show you this at the end, you can click the mcdonaldband.com. And at the top up here, I think you have to go to the more area. You can do the remind, and there's you can click it. And I'll show you how to do that at the end. I'll show you a couple of website features that you can do, and it makes it a lot easier. That's also where the QR codes are. If we give a handout to your kid, we are going to send it to you through email or through Remind. I know that no child ever would forget to give you something important. My college age student missed a deadline last week because he didn't get it to me. So he had to go take care of that. So anything we do, we're going to send to you on Remind and on our email newsletter. The best place to find that is if you go to the band website, mcdonaldband.com, and then click on handouts. Every handout for the entire year will be there. If the event has passed, it'll be in a folder called Old Handouts. If not, it's right there on top. It's in English and Spanish. It's Google Translate Spanish, so it's not great, but you can understand. Hopefully your student can help you take care of that. Our S'more newsletters, S'more is just a service that does this. We email it out on Sunday at 3 o'clock, almost every Sunday. If there's nothing big going on, you won't see it. But anytime there's something big going on in the upcoming week, or really the upcoming 2 weeks, we're going to have it on that newsletter for you. And on that newsletter area, you can click translate, and it will translate to Spanish. And that way you can read it all in Spanish. But this is where we're going to send out a lot of information. I'm going to try not to blow up your phone during the week. All right, band website.
Yeah, so like he was saying, our band website, it has a lot of great resources there. Pretty much anything you ever need starts at the band website. So it's really hard to remember, www.mcdonaldband.com. That's it. So it'll take you there. It'll redirect you to a Google site. But if you ever need anything or have any questions about band, it's always there. Our contact information is there. The information we just told you about Remind is all there. The calendar is there. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. The forms are all there. So if your student is missing a form, you can print it out from there or email us from there. And also supplies. If they need any sort of supplies, we have a really great supply page with links to where they can get it, whether it's a music store or some supplies that they can get through Amazon. There are links all throughout that supply page. It's a really good resource, but everything you ever need starts at mcdonaldband.com.
And we're going to show you all that at the end.
Okay, social media. We're very active on social media. So if you have not already, make sure you give us a follow. We are on Facebook, McDonald Middle School Band. We're on X, formerly Twitter. And then also Instagram is really the big one. We post from everything, links from there. But you'll see, if you follow us there, you'll see a lot of posts, and we post a lot of reminders there too about when things are due and when events are, when concerts are, and we post pictures of our classes as well. So it's really great resource for you to keep up with all things McDonald Band as well. Calendar. I don't remember who this is.
Okay, I'll do it. So we have worked really hard to get a calendar for the year that you can look at and put on your fridge and see anytime that we have something that is not class. And again, we're going to show it to you at the end, mcdonaldband.com, and then go to calendar. Any changes that we have to that will be sent out. Like right now, I can't tell you the date of our end of the year trip. Once we get that date nailed down, we will send a handout for you to mark off your calendar so you can know when it is. But again, that calendar is everything that's not class. There's also a neat feature on Google Calendar that you can do, that you can add it to your phone and it'll update. And anytime there's a handout, we link it on there so you can have that handout on your phone, maybe even before the kids do. Right?
Google Classroom. So we're going to use Google Classroom a lot. I think most people have used that before, but just to make sure we use that throughout the year. Sometimes they'll have assignments due on Google Classroom or Google Forms they'll need to do in Google Classroom. And a really, really, really helpful thing to do is if you sign up for parent notifications, if you have that, that way you can keep up with all of their assignments. If you're interested in wanting to be in that, we can invite you in. Just send one of us an email and we'll get you on that. And then the greatest button on Google Classroom is the to-do button. That helps you keep up to date with whatever is like next due. And that's a good way. I know there's a lot of things in Google Classroom. That's a really great way to keep up with what's next. Practice. So they will be expected to practice once we get started on instruments, and once we give them the okay to take those instruments home and start working at home, they're going to have a practice assignment every day. So the way that you can check that, parents, is they're going to have a little half sheet of paper, and every day they're going to write in whatever their practice assignment is. They'll write it in and they'll take it home and make sure that they practice whatever that one thing is. There's a lot of performances, so it's really important that they do spend that time at home practicing. And we want to make sure that they feel prepared and confident for every performance that we have. And if there's an issue practicing at home, let's say your neighbors don't want to listen to a really loud tuba at whatever time it is, they are always welcome to come practice here. If they want to come practice in the morning before school, they can do that. We have practice rooms available. They can come in and practice. We're here at 7:30 every day, so you can come in then. Or they can come in after school. We're here till at least 4:30 every day, except Friday. Like he said, we kind of peace out on Fridays. But any other day, we're here until at least 4:30. Most of the time, it's later than 4:30. So if they want to come by after school and practice in a practice room, they are totally welcome to do that. Now, the other thing about practicing, the way that we keep up with it is they will receive a practice log. And on that practice log, they're going to record every week how many minutes they practice. So if you look at the little thing right here, this is the grading scale. So if they practice for 90 minutes total within a week, then that will get them a 100. And this is also a really great way to get some extra credit points. If they practice over 104 minutes or over 105, they're going to get some extra bonus points in that. So a lot of students will ask us, how do I get extra credit? That's the number one way to do it. And you can see on the grading scale, you can know what their grade is going to be before they ever turn in their paper because of that grading scale on there. So here's what a practice log looks like. Yeah, this is what a practice log look like. So they'll fill in every day. Like they'll get these on Wednesday. They'll start them on Wednesday. They'll fill in how many minutes they practiced that night. And then at the total section, I'm going to do this, but right here, they're going to total how many minutes they did. It's really important they total their minutes or they're going to get some points deducted. And we'll talk more about that with them when the time comes. Then on Tuesday night, so it ends on Tuesday. On Tuesday night, they're going to get that signed by a parent. Okay, and it has to be signed by a parent. We will check that and we will make sure that it looks like a parent signature. And then one of us will fill in the grade. They'll get that back on Wednesday and they'll start it over and they'll get the same paper for a whole 9 weeks. So it's a cardstock piece of paper. So hopefully it doesn't get too messed up, but that is practice logs. Okay, private lessons. So private lessons are probably one of my favorite things that we offer at our school.
Sorry.
So private lesson teachers are people that come in and they come in during the school day most of the time, and they are professionals on their instrument. So we have a professional flute player, professional trumpet player, professional on every instrument. They come in and they can teach your student a one-on-one lesson. And that is the private lesson program. So they're so important. Mr. Major and I, we teach a lot of students. So in our classes, we have a ton of students and we do hear every student individually every day, but it's hard for us to be able to give them our full attention on each individual person to give them exactly what they need. So private lessons are there to kind of fill that gap. The way that you sign your student up for private lessons is you turn in the private lesson form. And if you're interested in it, the private lessons scholarship form, those were sent home. If you need a copy of that, we'll show you where to find it on the website in a minute. Or you can tell your student to ask us, and we have a ton of copies. We're happy to keep giving them out. They all should have received one already, but if they've lost it, that's okay. We've got extras. So the lessons cost $20 per lesson, and you give that money to that lesson teacher. Now, there are 3 ways that we offer to make that number go down a little bit. So number 1, if you fill out that scholarship form, we are going to try to get you as much money as possible to make that $20 go down a little bit. We can't give you an exact number on what that would be yet, but we can tell you that it would be less than $20 and it'd be enough less than $20. Or they can have a partner on their instrument. So let's say they play the clarinet and their friend also plays the clarinet and they both want to be in lessons. If they want to buddy up and do partner lessons and split the cost, so one person pays $10, one person pays $10, we can try to work that out as well. Or they can set up to where they do lessons every other week. So they could meet one week and then skip and then do lessons another week. And that way they're paying $20, but it's spread out a little bit. So it's not $20 every single week. If you're fine paying the $20, that is totally fine. But if you have any sort of need at all, we recommend filling out that scholarship form because it's your surest way to get some money back for that. And we view private lessons sort of as a investment in their future. For us, both of us were in private lessons, and I definitely don't know if I would have stuck with it like I did without that lesson teacher helping me through. It's just a great resource to have another adult helping them to get better at their instrument. Our lesson teachers are fantastic, and a lot of students that end up getting better and progressing faster in band are the ones that are in private lessons. Typically that's the case. So private lessons are fantastic. And again, if you need a form, let us know. We'll make sure we get that.
Okay, so supplies. The students will need their supplies every day. We will play every day and do band stuff every day except for the day before Christmas and the day before school is out. Every other day we're going to play. The only other time is if we are both gone for some reason. I think that happened one time last year, and we will tell them. We will know ahead of time. Your instruments have to be in working order, and they have to be decent instruments. Amazon instruments have break really easily, and then you can't get them fixed. We had a flute player a couple years ago who ended up buying 3 flutes because she bought it on Amazon. You can go to mcdonaldband.com and then go to supplies, and again, we'll show you this at the end. And you can order everything. You can order all your extra supplies, your cleaning supplies. There's even a link to order your rent-to-own instrument. Then we're also going to be charging a binder fee. That will be till end of September, beginning of October. That will be everything else they need for band. Binders, bags, pencils, papers, books, everything else they need for band on there. We can get it cheaper as a big group, since there's about 150 of them. We can get it cheaper and easier than you guys having to go look for it. So we'll share that supplies at the end. Now, the least fun thing we have to talk about. If you have a band payment due and you need extra time, just ask. We'll make it work. Miss Crowley and I can both say we've been at times where the budget was done and we're having peanut butter and jelly tonight. We've both been there. We completely understand. If you need extra time, if you need to break it up, break it into chunks, just talk to me. Email us, remind, text us. We ask that you don't send one with a student because students don't really understand the financial situation. So just give us a call or email or something, and we're going to take care of you. We want you to stay. We don't want money to be an issue. Here are some of the fees we'll have through the year. If you're a clarinet player, alto saxophone, oboe or bassoon, you have to have reeds. We talked about that when you picked your instrument. That's how much they are from us. It's actually cheaper to get clarinet and saxophone reeds on Amazon, which will show you. Oboes and bassoons, don't do it. Those are terrible. They will not. You'll have to keep buying them. Band t-shirt is $10. Orders were due. Money will be due soon. A piano fee is $15. We have a contest in April where the kids will play a solo by themselves and the piano player plays with them. You're paying for the piano player's services. Usually that's about $45. We've covered a large chunk of it. And so we only ask that you pay $15. And then band trip, we're going to go to Epic Waters in December. We'll have a contest and earn a big fat trophy. And then we'll go have fun in the water for the rest of the day. And in May, as of right now, we're planning to go to Pinstack. Still waiting on all the small details of that to be done. And we would love to have you go as a chaperone. If you want to go as a chaperone, we send that information out, send it back to us. You will have to go through a school background check. But if you're going to go with us as a chaperone, we're going to take care of your fees for that. We are a no cash school. Now, that doesn't mean you can't pay with cash. That means we don't touch cash. Our principal has told us she does not want us taking cash because there's no paper trail. So if you need to pay in cash, you can go to the front office and they will take your cash for you. There's cameras everywhere. There's paper trail. There's everything. You can also pay it online like you paid your Chromebook fee. On the band website, there's a link that says pay band fees online, and you can do it that way. That way you can use your card. You can do it from home. The only weird thing is we have to bill it to you before you pay it. You can't just go pay for it right now. You have to wait till we get it billed to you, and that's because school district finances is crazy. So we'll work on that. Handbook and forms.
Okay, so we have a few forms at beginning of year forms that we just need students to get done. The band handbook is our big old packet that we go over with students in the first week of school. We've already done that. If you would like a copy of that, it is on our band website. Feel free to read through that and kind of look and see. If you have questions, often they can be answered on the band handbook. It outlines pretty much everything that we do. And then the band handbook form is essentially their band permission slip. That's the most important form. Every student in the band needs to have that form turned in. And the other thing they need to do about that form is they have to make sure they're on the remind. So if they're not on the remind, then I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to write some instructions on that, and I'm going to send it back to that student, try to get on remind. Now, if you're like, I swear I'm on the remind, you might be. I might just see it as a different name, and I'm happy to check it and make sure that, I'm looking at the right person on there. I try to look up whoever signed the form, whatever parent signed the form, I look up that name. I look up any other name I can find associated with that student. But sometimes names are different on there. So I'm happy to check on that and make sure we have the right people on. So again, handbook acceptance form, that's the one that is required. The instrument use form, this is for school owned instruments. So if you are using one of our instruments, so typically that is oboe, bassoon, horn, euphonium, and tuba. If you rented an instrument, you do not need to give us that form. And then the private lesson form, which we talked about, that is optional for everybody. You do not have to do private lessons unless you are double reeds. Double reeds are all enrolled in private lessons. But other than that, it's optional. But there is a deadline if you want to get that scholarship form in. That is due August 25th. So that's August 25th.
Yeah. Okay, here is our contact information. You can see a little bit better. This is not available anymore. The beginning, the parent meeting form, that's not available anymore. So we're going to cross that out. There's my phone number and my email. You can zoom in on that and still add me to your phone. There's Miss Crowley's phone number and email. Add that to your phone. There's Miss Hall, 972-882-7935, rhall5@mesquiteisd.org. Now, let me show you the band website things that we talked about. Okay, so contact us is probably the most important one. There's our contact information. You can click that and email us. Here's the handouts area right here. You can go to the handouts, click that. There's all the handouts we have. Newsletters is right next to it. There's the advanced band, not you guys. You guys are beginner band. This is the school newsletter. Handbook and forms. This is where you're going to find all your forms. There's the band handbook in English and Spanish. The handbook acceptance form is right there. And then if you need to use the instrument use form, it's right there. You can click those and they're ready to go. Private lesson form is right here. You can click on those in English and Spanish and get those. Calendar, this is my favorite part. I love the calendar. This is our calendar. Here's the advanced band. Scroll past that and go down to beginner band. So you can see last night we had our meeting. That's why we're doing this today, because it was terrible. It was. But here's my favorite thing. If you click this button, this plus Google Calendar button, that is going to allow you to add it to your phone and you can see what's going on. You can click over and you can see right now we have our fine arts skate night scheduled. Hopefully that's going to be when it is. We're still working on getting the details out, but all of these different things are there for you to look at. The supplies, hold on, I got to click the other button. Supplies right there. If you play clarinet, you can click clarinet. You can rent own at Ellis County Music or Music and Arts. All the things down here that are not the instrument, you can get on Amazon. If you click on that, it will open up into Amazon and you can get it. I'm an Amazon person. I do all the things. But do not get your instrument there. All the instruments are listed. Every supply you might need is listed on there. Some of these are for advanced band only. You see that says advanced bands only. Don't worry about getting that, okay? Pay band fees online. You can't see that, but it's going to open up to the school district thing. And then more. These are just all the things. You want to read about Miss Crowley and I, there we are. All sorts of things on the band website, Okay. So thank you so much for being here. We apologize for the craziness that happened last night. Who knows? We hope you. Do you have anything you want to add?
No.
We laughed really hard how terrible it was. So thank you very much. Y'all have a great evening or day or whenever it is. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. There's our information if it's going to come up. There's Miss Crowley and I's information. If you need to get a hold of Miss Hall, there's hers. And then at the bottom, of course,